Welcome back, gang. You might have noticed over the last week or so, I'm trying to show you more stuff that isn't just Games Workshop. We're still covering their miniatures, I still want to talk about them, they're still making some of the best stuff currently available, but the fact is, there's a ton of other creators and companies out there also doing really fun things. The problem here is that this is a two-way street. I'm trying to show you cool stuff I've found, but not one of you has shown me what I'm about to show you, and that, frankly, baffles me, because I'd have thought at this point you would know that this little collection of models is right up my street. You may have heard me talk about things like Mad Max Fury Road before. In fact, just that whole franchise is excellent. You might have also, way back, seen a video I did talking about my favourite Orc army that I've ever seen. It was something that I saw back in 3rd edition. It was kind of what caused me to want to do Speed Freaks back then. And it turns out that there is someone out there who just resonates with me on, like, the level of the soul. This is Mr. Modulorc's Orcs Wagon Bug, which is quite a name, and it's somewhat difficult to pronounce, but there it is. I'd never heard of Mr. Modulorc before, which makes me incredibly sad. This absolutely speaks to me on a deep and fundamental level, and I have never been more tempted to start doing Orcs again than seeing these STLs, because it really is effectively just what if you did take Mad Max and stick Orcs in them. Now, of course, Games Workshop's current range is very much like that anyway, but there's things about these that just, I don't know what it is. There is an aesthetic to them that, whilst I like the Games Workshop vehicles for Orcs right now, these are just speaking to me on a slightly different level. I think it is possibly because these are based on actual cars. I mean, the fact is you've got a VW Beetle back end on one of these. Also, something that's fun to note, and something that I will be testing out, is apparently all of these bits can be remixed for max variation, allowing you to build large squads of lads with no obvious repeats, especially when mixed with other Mr. Modulorc kits. So, this is Mad Max style cars, full of Orcs, deliberately built to be modular so that you can create a bunch of different monstrosity vehicles, much like you might see in Mad Max itself. I mean, this is, admittedly, that is just straight up borderline copied. Borderline. Not completely, borderline. I mean, it feels like there's a nice bit of work from Death Race, that's it. It feels like there's some Death Race creeping in here as well, with that massive like bumper on the front there, but I'm just loving all of these. I really am. They are fantastic. They're very silly, they're very over the top, but because they are based off real vehicles, for some reason it's just hitting a little bit different. These just a little bit different. I'm really curious. Like, there's got to be some of you out there who have been, messing around with this stuff and already knew the name Mr. Modulorc, which, as I say, up until today I just had never heard of. If you've printed a bunch of this stuff and, like, meshed it together and mixed it up to create your own little monstrosities, please do share your experience, because I'm very drawn to this. It seems like there is a good amount of customization. It seems like you get a lot of parts to mix and match. I mean, just looking at this, like, school bus right here, there's quite a bit going on. There's quite a lot of difference between the various versions and the various pieces. It looks like you could get at least 3 of these out of this one STL without them looking anything like each other, which, that's fantastic, and I love that way of doing things. And it's so tempting. It's so very, very tempting. Now, it feels like some of this stuff is, of course, reference. It's reference. You can tell where the ideas come from. Some of it, admittedly, is just straight up like, how are you not in trouble for some sort of IP infringement? Because, I mean, that is literally just Dementus from Furiosa. So, I mean, pretty cut and dry on that one. Even the middle bike is based on the bike from Furiosa, because rather than it having a normal engine, it's got the engine out of an aircraft. I can't remember what aircraft it's out of, but it's not it's not standard, let's put it like that, and that very much is exactly that bike. But then again, whilst this is extremely clearly just, well, yeah, we just copied that thing, I'm okay with it. It's stupid, because it was stupid in the film, but it's also just very fun and very cool. And also the fact that you can have them on just the bike separate, or you can have the chariot, or you could just mix and match the whole lot. It's so well thought out, and the aesthetic is so good because it's combining the two things that I really like. I mean, you're effectively mixing real Mad Max cars with orcs, as opposed to cars that are designed to look like Mad Max stuff without actually being the stuff from Mad Max. Weirdly, for stuff like this I quite like. Stuff like when it's just an AT-AT or something from Star Wars, I'm not quite as much of a fan of, but I think possibly it's just my overriding love for Fury Road that is just completely blinding me and making me into a, like, really significant hypocrite with this. Because I'm not going to put, like, an AT-AT down on the table and be like, yeah, it's an orc thing. I wouldn't do that. I'd do it with this. I'd put this down on the table and be like, yeah, it's an orc vehicle, who cares? Why? What's the difference? I mean, this is just based off a real car, so why is it that this one is acceptable? But I don't know. I couldn't tell you. It's clearly very hypocritical. Now, it's worth pointing out that there is other stuff here that is more just kind of classic orc-inspired stuff, and that, again, looks great. And the fact that it is also interchangeable, oh, dear me. I can't believe I didn't know about this. I probably would have pulled the trigger on this quite a while ago if I'd have realised. It might be good that I didn't. It might be good that I didn't know about this, because at a moment of, like, poor self-control, I could have ended up with a Speed Freaks army that, really, I don't know when I'd ever use, or when I'd have time to paint it. But for just little painting projects, I am super curious to know, like, how well all of this stuff goes together. Like, if you've been through these STLs, if you've made something out of these, then yeah, please do let me know, because whilst I might not get to play anywhere near as often as I would like to, I'm very much in the boat of, like, kit bashing and painting for the fun of doing that these days, and being able to create a bunch of fun Mad Max orc cars, which I'm just printing at home. I mean, the temptation is there. The temptation is there. Not right now, because there's going to be some of you going, look, you literally did a video the other day because you bought a bunch of STLs, having said you don't know what you'd use them for, which is totally legit. It's totally true. I did do that. I'm not doing that here. I'm not just going to be grabbing these and having them lie in the digital pile of shame. This is the thing now. Things have evolved. It's not just a pile of plastic. It's not just a pile of plastic shame that you've got, or a pile of resin shame that you've got. Now it's possible to have a digital pile of shame of all the STLs you've purchased and then never printed. To be fair to me, I think almost every single STL I've purchased I have printed at some point. They're not all painted, but they are printed, which just means it's a pile of resin shame. Nah, shit. Anyway, the quest for fun models continues. I'm not going to grab these just yet, don't worry. I do want to hear if you've done stuff with these, then please do let me know. And yeah, I'll put a link to the creator in the description down below so you can take a look. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you for the next one.